Hello again, everyone. Today I'm going to be showing off some gameplay footage of me and my buddy Admiral Wiso playing the Ilysia Beta. I wanted to take some time to make a video and talk about my experience with the game. I also wanted to talk about where the game is in development and kind of where it seems to be going. VR MMOs are a relatively new phenomenon. While there are some others out there, none of them have grabbed my attention quite like Ilysia. I saw a gameplay of the alpha about a year ago, and I've been fascinated by the concept of this game ever since. With a little luck and some help from my buddy KT2Fly, links in the description, Wiso and I managed to snag a couple Beta 2 keys, and the adventure was afoot. Beta 2 implemented what the devs call a FreeForge class system, meaning that your class was effectively dictated by the weapon you were holding.
What the hell is telekinesis?
Wiso took the Priest Scepter for a Priest/Healer build, and I went with the Bow for a Hunter/Ranger build. He also chose the Human, and I chose the Elf. They named these something different in Ilysia, but I have forgotten. Apologies. The world of Ilysia is mapped out wonderfully, with lots of verticality. It's littered with towns, caves, camps, and ruins, all surrounded by hills, forests, and rivers. There was no map available in the beta, which at first I thought was kind of odd. But if you raise your hand to your forehead, the game gives you a compass you can navigate with. You can also see your XP bar and all of your quest icons to show you where to go. There are roads, road signs, landmarks, all making natural navigation possible and super fun. Your sprint allows you to move at the speed of a land speeder.
Hello. Let me engage speeder mode.
So crossing large distances wasn't a problem in the beta, but I don't think there were no mounts in the beta, so I think they just increased your sprint speed to accommodate that. The game features an airship, which I was extremely excited to ride. I was actually amazed by how far the draw distance was, not only for the terrain, but for players too.
No, there's a town down there.
Whoa, look at the town! Look at the people in the town! I love the draw distance! Oh, it's so cool.
You can see them moving around,
I know!
interacting with things.
This gave the world an incredible sense of scale. Even though the graphics weren't quite as strong as something like Skyrim VR, the feeling you get walking up to a mountain town is exactly the same. Unlike Skyrim VR, though, you're not the only player in the world. Voice chat was a little buggy during the beta, but just being able to wave at people and see them go about their adventures just made the world feel alive.
Hey!
What was that?
It's Jack! It's KT! It's KT! Woo! Oh, I can't hear him this time, though. Oh, damn.
The combat system in Ilysia has a solid foundation, but is riddled with issues at the time of writing. More on that later, but I was impressed by how much fun I was having with the archery. I had even more fun when I started to learn how the signs were used to cast my spells as a hunter. Spells in Ilysia are prepared by holding the trigger and drawing the sign in the air. Once the spell is prepared, you can cast by either aiming and pulling the trigger, or by, in the case of my hunter, by firing my arrow. Pretty cool system. Melee combat was kind of just a spam fest. You just sort of, hit them with your sword repeatedly and you would get hits. There really wasn't like a real neat method to melee combat. They did have swipes that would cause certain attacks, but it didn't seem better than just spamming your attacks. So that might be something they'll have to work on later.
Stop blocking my spells. Your unholy things you should not be able to block. Holy bolts.
Are they
You should be
unholy?
weak
I
to
mean, they're
them.
just blue bats.
They are.
Straight for you.
Yeah, that's why. That's why. He goes for the healer, the holy man.
Yeah. Alright, there you go. That's true.
Now on to the quests. There are about 3 types of quests in the game at the time of writing. The fetch quest of go get thing, bring thing back, get pat on head. Number 2 is go kill X number of things and then return for pats on head. And then lastly, there is go kill thing that drops special thing and then return with X number of special thing for pats. You get the idea. There's just not a lot of creativity happening at the quest system at the moment.
I can't turn that quest in. Like it says it's complete.
Can. Oh, but no, yeah, you're right.
Weird.
Maybe because we don't have the ring and it's just, I don't know.
Temis, you a lying bitch! I'm gonna slap you around with my hand. Use a bitch. Look at your blue eyes. Blue-eyed bitch.
I was going to have a pros and cons section here, but as I was writing it out, it felt unfair to list all the pros and cons considering how early the game still is in development, and because of all of the recent troubles the game has gone through. See, the game originally was programmed for a client authoritative system. Why? I have no idea, because I don't have enough programming knowledge to know exactly what that means. But it's my understanding that for an MMO to work proper, it has to be a server authoritative system. So the game has to literally be rewritten from the ground up. Reportedly, less than 1% of the original code from the alpha phase is still in the game. This is why the alpha footage looks so completely different from the beta we got to see. A day after the beta closed, the devs held a Q&A where they revealed that the game would soon be transitioning into early access. Rather than burden you with my opinions, I will leave you to come to your own conclusions for what that might mean for a new independently developed crowdfunded VR MMO.
There's a boar lodged right up there in the...
Yeah, no, I was looking at that. I was like, what is that? It's
That
just
is
like
a
boar
boar.
head sticking out.
Oh, get him.
The devs didn't give us a release date, and there hasn't been any new updates since the Q&A at time of writing. But whatever your thoughts are on the potential banes and boons of going into early access, the good news is that it shouldn't be too long before it's available for everyone to get their hands on, be it PC VR or on standalone Quest 2. As I said before, Ilysia is a project that was crowdfunded on Kickstarter and was incentivized by the promised introduction of various game mechanics, including, but not limited to, a PvP honor system, airship and naval combat, and even a dedicated battle royale
Let's
town.
try the sample text. Let's go to that town.
That's gonna... Oh, look at it.
hell
They're all
yeah.
3 sample text.
Oh yeah.
Ah. The brave new lands of sample text.
There has been talk of titans, giant golem-like monsters that walk the land and must be scaled by a party of adventurers to traverse the dungeon inside. While all of this sounds amazing, I worry that Ilysia is doomed to fall into the category of games that promise the world but fail to deliver. I struggle to see how airship combat would even be possible when the game just struggles to not yeet you out of the Zeppelin when traveling between towns.
Uh-oh, you're about to squeeze out the back. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, you're good.
All this to say, the game has a long way to go. The current world map is small, reportedly only about 4 square kilometers. That's a little smaller than a Fortnite map for reference. It's easy to see why recoding the game had to be done, but it's also plain to see that it's come at a very high cost. What they called a Beta 2 was really kind of more like an Alpha 2. And I say that not to disparage the progress that's been made, but simply to illustrate accurately where the game is in its development cycle. About as many things worked as didn't. Effectively everything felt incomplete or roughed out. While I had a blast playing the game, I was playing it with the understanding that it was simply a test of the game. With the announcement of early access happening right after the beta, even though they hadn't announced a date yet, my concern is that it will be released too soon. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you excited about Ilysia? Do you play VR? Do you play MMOs? Do you play VR MMOs? And do you think that there's one I need to try? I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for your time and your attention, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Peace.